He said 3,000 years. We would know we have one more 1,000 years to go. Had he said 2,500, we would know we have more time to go. How close we've got. Let me show you that timeline one more time and just explain three options. Remember, the rapture itself does not have a sign. In other words, it can happen anytime, anytime. But we have a final place beyond which it cannot go. That's why I have those lines there for you. Could happen anytime. But then had it happened somewhere here, would have had to wonder, what will be happening all this time? Because he will not return until after 2 days. You see that? So you'd have been wondering all those years after, what would have been happening? We don't know. But sure enough, it seems much more like somewhere here. Somewhere here. Because all this is already past. We're somewhere around here. Count it yourself. We said the other day, if you take that day when he walked out of the temple as 30 AD, some have said 29 AD. I said, if you take the range of 4 BC to 2 BC for his birth, somewhere you will come to the range of what we said. And if we're just taking an average and we come to 30 AD, 2000, from there we'll come to 2030. And from now, from 2020 to 2030 is 10 years, which means that it cannot exceed 10 years before the man of sin is revealed, because you have 7 years either after that. Now here are the three options. 7 years either after or within or across. Do you understand? If it is after, then you have, before he comes back will be 7 plus 10. That's 17 years before Jesus comes back. 7 for the tribulation. 10 years before the Antichrist shows up. You see that? So 17 years in all, and Jesus shows up if it is after. If it is inside, you have 3 years before he shows up. If it is across, you have 6.5 years before he shows up. But because 2020 has gone past 6 months already, you're in September, that means you have just 6 years. Which means, if it doesn't happen in 3 years, it might be 6. If it doesn't happen in 6, cannot exceed 10.
All scriptures must be viewed with the binoculars of the Christ. Whether it's eschatology, any eschatology that does not come through Christ will collapse. That's why they have prophesied Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. Last year, somebody said it was coming last year. There's another one that is coming this year in September. Those are all white fables. We know these things. We've been around. Any prophecy of the end times that is not channeled through Christ, that is used, that Israel is used as a marker, is a fallacy. It's a fallacy. Anything they use Israel to say, because Israel has done, they're even dreaming of a new temple. People have missed Jesus. They don't miss road. They are inside bush. And some of them are not hearing, come home, come home. They are too lost. They are too far gone. How can they be looking for a third temple in Jerusalem when Jesus said, destroy this temple? After 3 days I will raise it up. He was telling you, I don't need human temples anymore. How are they reading their Bible? Zerubbabel wanted to build a temple for God. God says, Zerubbabel, don't waste your money. The kind of temple I'm looking for is not going to be built by might nor by power. It shall be built by my spirit. How did they read the Bible? Jesus said to that woman, you shall neither in Jerusalem nor in this mountain, but the time cometh and now is when the true worshippers shall worship the Father where? In spirit. Any Bible prophecy that is not viewed through the lenses of Christ, you are a waste of time. There's one they call dispensational theology. It's a fallacy. It came from one Scofield who has a Bible called Scofield Reference. It's a fallacy. There's nothing like dispensationalism, because the concept of dispensationalism is that God deals with two races of people, Israel and the rest of the world. So God has two different standards for Israel and for us. That's a fallacy. Jesus died for the whole world. I told you, right? This Israel now is not Bible Israel.
Now, this is one of the most contentious issues in recent times in the Christian faith, right? Or in the Christian circle. Pastors coming up to treat this particular subject of, is Jesus coming back again? Is he not coming back again? When is a rapture? Is there even going to be a rapture? So a lot of pastors have come up in time past to give their perspective on this particular subject. Now, Pastor Chris and Dr. Abel Damina, as in this video, the idea is to let you guys get the perspective of these two great preachers. You understand? Get their perspective and then decide, based on your own research and other stuff, who is actually right on this subject. And of course, we're in a time that no information should be a waste, right? Every possible perspective, you need to hear anything you need to hear. no information right now should be. Say, no, I don't want to listen. No, listen to it. Listen to everything. Even the Bible admonishes us to do so, right? Test every waters. Listen to everything. And then decide which perspective you align with or you understand with. So in this video, they have both made their own submission on this subject, right? Pastor Chris, for example, over the years have always come up with, I think, specific timelines of events, and in many cases, correct. In many cases, those timelines were correct and consistent, right? He's always doing that. And Pastor Chris is one of the most intelligent preachers you can come across. There are so many topics that I personally struggled with, controversial issues, but when I listen to Pastor Chris' perspective on those subjects, it gave me clarity. Dr. Abel Damina, on the other hand, brings a different aspect to it, which is also valid in its own, right? There was a time I struggled with the messages of Dr. Abel Damina, but as time goes on, I kind of gain certain understanding from his style of message and his preaching on this subject. And he has always insisted that, he even said the idea of rapture is not valid or something like that. He doesn't believe in that whole idea of the timelines that leads up to the rapture. I think one of his most controversial statements was when he even said Jesus is not coming back again.
I will send you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come. So the Spirit of God is the Spirit of Jesus, is the Spirit that reproduces the exploits of Jesus. And that same Spirit is what is in the believer today, to reproduce the same ministry of Jesus. Can I have a powerful amen? Which means that Jesus is going nowhere. Jesus is going nowhere. I told you last week, he's coming back again. My Lord is coming back again. That's how we used to sing it. We don't used to say again, again. So that you know he's coming again. He went away and promised that he's coming back again. He didn't went away. Lo, I am with you always. So the returning Jesus concept is not a Bible concept. What we have in the Bible is the appearing Jesus. When Christ, who is our life, shall what? Appearance is different from returning.
I think there was a video like that, he said, he boldly stated it, that he said Jesus lives in the believer and all that. But what do you guys think? Based on their perspective and everything, drop your comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.